Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us back here at Zeus's channel. We're sitting here once again with Kyle, also known as Helios, the Chief Communications Officer of Zeus. First and foremost, Kyle, how have you been holding up during these markets, man? It's been a bit of a wild ride still since we last chatted.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was lucky enough to be one of the people that sort of sold out of things and went right into USDC before the whole market crashed. Other than like sort of sitting in some avalanche just for gas fees and things like that. Um, so I didn't take a major hit. I own Zeus, so and staking it. So like, and we've been pretty consistent between 40 and 50 cents, and this has been, I want to say, 2, 3 weeks now. So as everything's been dropping, we've either been increasing or staying stable, and that's what most of my money is in, just so I can earn the USDC. So otherwise, I haven't been really hit. I do expect it to see at least a double bottom. I do. I think it'll hit 19 Bitcoin. I'm speaking of. I think
Yeah.
Bitcoin hits 19K, 19.1 or whatever it is. I also, for whatever reason, I'm like a guy that follows quant. QNT. And I realized when you like back test a little bit, the last time quant went on a major run, Bitcoin saw new local bottoms or new bottoms in general.
Yeah.
And so there's a chance that we actually drop. Well, I'm watching quant, and quant is starting to increase, up 25% a day, things like that during this market. And so there's a chance that Bitcoin does drop below 19. Though I think realistically, looking at the chart and everything, we're probably going to see the double bottom near 19 and then go from there and see.
Yeah, 20-ish K
Yeah.
thousand in Bitcoin was
Uh-huh.
was the previous high of the bull run that led to the crypto winter afterwards, back in 2017, 2018 range. So it makes sense that it's a psychological number people are sticking to, because that's kind of been the pattern. Now I do kind of implore people. Patterns are not going to definitely always apply into the future.
Mhm.
Patterns can easily be broken. It's just something people try to use to kind of gauge where things are going. And because people are going to try to use that, it becomes like $20,000 is a psychological number, both in
Mhm.
terms of relating to the last bull run and just overall. It's just a
Oh,
nice number that people stick to. People kind of do that. So will it go lower than here? The only thing stopping it is sentiment, right? So people are still believing in it largely, and I think you are right. What usually ends up happening is as Bitcoin stabilizes and kind of does this crab sideways kind of thing, then you start seeing a lot of alternate coins and stuff kind of go their own way a little bit, or some
yep.
actually go up pretty high, some go down. It's kind of when Bitcoin stabilizes, the rest of the market has time to figure out what it wants to do.
Yep,
And
for
same
sure.
thing with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up, usually everything else kind of sticks around a little bit. Then when Bitcoin's done doing its raise, then everything else comes up as well. So it's really
Yeah.
weird. Bitcoin's still definitely the thing underpinning most of this market. And you could say Ethereum is somewhat too, but I still think Bitcoin's king at the end of the day here.
It really is. I mean, like being in the market for so long, I actually expected, because it moved so quickly, that Bitcoin by this time in, middle of 2022 would not be as dominant as it was. I actually thought because the technology was so expansive and nascent that things would move quickly. And like we're realizing that Bitcoin is a slow technology. It's not as private as people thought it was originally, like Monero, let's say. And it's not as good of a store of wealth in a sense. So I was very surprised instability wise. So I was very surprised that it's still
Well,
lasting as good as it is and as dominant. So
it's important to understand when you say it's not a good store of wealth. Like, look at I got like a gold coin here, right? It
mhm,
hasn't fared well with inflation either this time around.
no.
Like, this is what I mean when I get back to saying people base things on patterns, but patterns aren't always right. People talk about gold being a hedge against inflation, and it doesn't always work either.
Mhm.
So,
I mean,
well,
oh my God, and it's like, where do we put our money, right? Like that's where a lot of people I think are questioning these days, because we're still expecting a housing crash because it still hasn't been hit. It's finally starting to be touched in America, but it hasn't really been anything major yet, and so I think people are still waiting on that as
I'll give you
well.
my best advice would be dollar cost average into income. Keep
That's why my dad called me up. Yeah, yeah, for
making
real.
money, man. That's got to be the answer at the end of the day. Now's not a
Dude,
time to be resting on your laurels, is basically what
no,
I break it down
for
to.
sure. And that's like we also as Zeus Finance, we find this time as like the best time to build. Like right now, everything's just like very, very relaxed. It's we're not even people aren't even if you're looking at crypto Twitter and things like that, they're not even scared anymore. Now everyone just accepted it. They're just like, oh, this is where we're at. Now let's just hope we go up from here. Like the fear is nowhere near as the same as it was because everyone's lost a lot of their money. And the people that are new to this now have now experienced their bear. You know what I'm saying? Like they're now like, oh, I've now officially hit my first realization that I threw 10K in and it's now worth 1,000. Right?
Or nothing.
Or nothing.
There's a,
Exactly.
there was a top 10 project that just vaporized. Let's not
Literally overnight, basically.
yeah, it's gone, dude. So yeah, some people got hit hard. I think this one's different though. With the previous one, it was everybody got wrecked really bad. And this one is like some people got decently wrecked and other people got like absolutely demolished.
Oh yeah, and I think the ones that have been around are the ones that realized, oh, we took profits, maybe not at the top, but we did take profits at least a little bit on the way down. And now, at least with some of the people that I surround myself with that have been in crypto, we
Speak
all
for
sort of got out.
yourself, man. I have not pulled out at all.
Oh man, there's a few. Like obviously, there's a few coins I just hold through, and I'm like,
Yeah, for me, it's largely it's like the whole thing with me. And again, I'm not encouraging anybody to follow this path.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice. I am an idiot. What I am saying is like for me, I want to hold on to my staking amount of Ethereum and things like that. And I don't want to come off of it in case anything happens and I can never acquire it again. Right.
Yes,
Because right now, what would I be pulling into dollars for? Just to spend or to hold or what? I wanted that much Ethereum for a reason, and I'm going to hold it because that's how much I wanted. Now, when it comes to buying more, I'm a little, I'm kind of dancing around a little bit. I've played in like a couple one BNB worth NFTs and so on and so forth. But I'm not doing anything too wacky, and I haven't turned anything into USDT, but I'll just keep earning USDT. That's what I'll do.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just earning stables, and that's sort of what we're doing at Zeus Finance. Sort of why I picked the first utility, which was Zeus staking for USDC. Was like, I knew bear market was coming. Number one, I'm like, I know it's just that part of the cycle now. We hit the top back in November. It's time to go down, and we need to see. I mean, there was a friend of mine. I've had friends saying we're hitting 20K, and this was back at like 60 or something like that. And so it's like, oh, we sort of foresaw this. And once I realized that, it's like, okay, earning stables, it allows people to, number one, just like leverage their Zeus and like actually earn something that they want anyway without selling it. And then they can buy dips. So right now, like it's not financial advice, but dollar cost averaging in these lows for a coins that you like isn't bad,
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't feel anywhere near as risky as dumping all your money in.
oh no, for sure.
But
that's
anyways,
what's crazy is we saw that happening when coins were at the top, right? People were entering Bitcoin at 60.
People were leveraging their houses.
Yeah, that's what's nuts, man.
I mean, dude, listen, like, here's the thing is there's always going to be people that make decisions like that. And you can feel for them. Well, understand. It's like, dude, I would just never do that. I don't understand why. Yeah. But as people get bit by the FOMO bug. That's why it's a thing. And turns again, the greater fool theory does definitely apply to crypto. It definitely does. You got to be careful, man. So
maybe somewhat enhanced. There's we're degens out here, many of us. So it's like so many of us risk a lot. I see it.
Yeah, agreed. But here, man, let's turn the conversation back to Zeus a little bit. So tell me about some of the new goings-ons there. You said you guys have been working on stuff and building stuff during this bear market. What's going on?
Yeah, so the biggest thing, sort of outlined in my last Olympus post, was the new contract change. So we're actually going through to Zeus V2 essentially, because our current contract, the new, our team that adopted it and whatnot, we realized there's only like 1 million coins, and that is just not enough to actually scale to the level that we want to. So we're just actually we're just adding some new utility to the coin, some versatility. So we're actually adding in the ability to bond and mint new tokens essentially for discount. The benefits to that are twofold. There's for us, we actually get to increase our treasury And then for the investor, they get coins at a discount. So those same coins they could just stake anyway. So there's for us, we just see that these new token mechanisms are actually going to work really well for us. It allows us to scale at a really slow, efficient rate as well. A lot of people are worried that we might increase token supply too quickly. I want to assure you that's not going to happen. So we don't want to devalue our token. We just want the ability to say that, oh, 1 million tokens is not enough. We need the ability to actually create more. So we are adding the inflationary token mechanisms, as well as some deflationary token mechanisms as well. So yeah, we're just excited for this new contract. I think it's going to allow us to actually achieve our vision compared to where our current contract, where we have a vision and we would be basically doing everything we can to skate by, essentially, to ensure that we can succeed.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning experience, and it's important to grow these things slowly over time. As you had said, there's a reason why Ethereum has not went fully proof of stake yet. And it's because you really want to make sure everything is good to go before you make any sort of rash decisions. And at the end of the day, the number one thing I stick to is good things always take time. Bad things usually happen all at once. And yeah, leads to some fun things happening in life, and bad things happen all at once. And good things take a long time to build. But think of that optimistically, because if you look around you, you're surrounded by stuff that people have built over time. So, all right, Kyle.
For sure. Patience is a virtue. I think that I try to keep, saying that in my posts to our community and our Discord and whatnot. We're the same people that were hating on us in the beginning because we were starting to charge fees when our prices were low. We introduced that utility and allowed to share that profit. And now it's actually holding our price up. We're stable now. Not only that, we're actually constantly increasing if you look at the chart, slowly. So like we see actual real organic growth in our community and our price. We have no VC investors. We only have a few whales right now. So we're looking, to increase that amount just so we attract more people, just because we know that, whales do that as well. So yeah, we're doing what we can to market. The biggest thing we're doing now, and Morpheus or Sean, who, introduced himself, I think last video, was he's doing a lot with Twitter Spaces now. Because we're on Avalanche, and Avalanche has a pretty big persona in regards to Twitter Spaces, we're actually getting involved. We're holding our own now every Tuesday, and then joining them daily now, essentially just to spread our voice and provide our input in the Avalanche space and crypto in general.
Good. Definitely. That's kind of, again, back to it. It's not just the individual projects on Avalanche or on Ethereum or so on. It's the overall communities can help support each other too and talk about things as well. So I definitely encourage anyone who's not in some of the larger groups as well, not just individual projects, to go check those out and dive in. And of course, dive into Zeus's groups. And once again, Kyle, where can people go to chat with members of the Zeus family?
Yeah, they could just come right to Discord. Honestly, we're all pretty active in there. We introduced our senior moderator now, Dionysus, and he's been actually doing a fantastic job for us as well, answering all these questions and chatting with us because he's the direct contact with us, the team above him. So yeah, Discord is going to be the place that you want to come. Any questions, education. There's a lot of us that are veterans in the space now, essentially. So there's a lot of education that goes on in our Discord as well. So we really encourage people to come join us.
Perfect. Well, anything else you want to add before we go? We've touched on the market. We've touched on company updates. Last tidbits of wisdom from Helios. Put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, it actually reminds me of the quote that I put in my last Olympus post, and it's about having faith and making sure that as humans, that's the one thing that separates us from other animals and creatures. So we want to make sure that I think we have faith moving forward in regards to your investments, your family, your love, whatever it is. I think holding faith is important.
Okay, there's a real pearl of wisdom there. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And hopefully everybody watching does too. And we encourage you guys to leave any questions or insights in the market you want to share with us. Join the community. Let us know what's going on in your guys' crypto portfolios. We will chat again soon. I promise. Kyle, thank you for your time today.
All right. Thank you.